Good morning. I'm going to start today's video with a walk from Fortingall, which is a tiny little village here, all the way back to where I'm staying at Chesthill. And I'm going to start by visiting Fortingall Kirk, which is the home of the Fortingall Yew, which is reportedly the oldest tree in the world. It's 5,000 years old, so let's go and have a look. It's meant to be quite extraordinary, this thing. Let's have a look. Thanks very much. Wow. Before you stands Europe's and possibly even the world's oldest living thing. The yew was once much bigger. Back in 1769 it was recorded as having a girth in excess of 56 feet, which is about 17 metres. But it was damaged by fire during Beltane festivals, and it became a target for souvenir hunters. And the whole centre of the trunk got burnt out. In the 1800s it was so big that you could drive a carriage through the centre, and there are a couple of old images, which is what I'm showing in the background here to show you what that looked like. But the outer pieces survived, and it carried on growing, and it's now 5,000 years old. It's been tested. That means it's older than Stonehenge, which is mad, isn't it? Well, we're now leaving the kirk, the church, and we're going to head off past the hotel here, the pub, because there's not that else here in the village. Oh, the wind's just got up, typically. And we're going to start a 3-mile walk back to where I'm staying at the moment, and we'll see what we see on the way. There's some absolutely beautiful thatched cottages here. They are lovely. Oh, there you go, got a better view of this one. Look at that, in fact it's several cottages, I see. Isn't that lovely? It's beautiful. And there's the other one in the background there. In fact, there's 3 of them, I think, isn't there? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, how picturesque is that? What a view they've got. Look at the view they've got. Now, I do note that over in the middle of that field there is a standing stone. I know what that is. I'm going to see if I can get over there without upsetting the nicely ploughed field here. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the name of this thing, but it means the cairn of the dead. And the story is that it's where all the bodies of the victims of the Black Death were buried in the 14th century, supposedly buried by one old woman who was the only survivor. So it was in a nice location. Have a look at the view. Mountains, fields, sheep. And you get to look back on that beautiful little ideal village with all the thatched cottages. There's also some stone circles around here worth exploring. Now, I don't know if they are in their original formations or whether they were reassembled by Victorians as a fancy, I don't know. But there are several of them. This is one. Here's a few close-ups of the circle. And there are a couple more which I photographed, and also this, which looks like a prehistoric barrow. I'm at the end of the village now, coming to a little bridge. Not entirely sure how big the river is, or the brook that goes underneath, but it's quite noisy, so we'll have a look in a second. Oh, actually that's very pretty. That's lovely. A lovely mossy bridge. And there's a view back into the village. Let's cross over the road and see what the view's like over here. Oh, that fills your heart with joy, that does. Isn't that lovely? Okay, onwards up the hill. Here's a curious thing. Almost every set of gateposts along this road has these sculpted rocks sitting on top. They've all been sculpted by the river nearby, by the River Lyon. They're all naturally formed, but they're all lovely. Do you know, I look at these rocks and I'm instantly reminded of the sort of album covers that were done back in the 70s by artists like Roger Dean and Rodney Matthews, with these wonderfully gnarly twisty rock formations. It became quite iconic, very 70s, you know, for bands like Yes and people like that. And if you ever draw anything that's got rocks like that, people say, oh, you've ripped off Roger Dean. But the reality is, of course, that nature got there first. It really did. Nature got there absolutely first. And oh look, some wild garlic. There's a little treat for us. Nice little stand of wild garlic that's gone to flower. There's a nice little find. 3 little Highland coos sitting in a field, enjoying the sun, totally ignoring me, and just generally chilling, as I indeed think they should. Although how they get any sleep with the bloody noise of these crows and jackdaws, I have no idea. Aren't they lovely? Right, we now have to take a fork off to the right and head for the bridge of Balgie and Glen Lyon, because I'm actually staying in the Glen Lyon Valley, and finally I've walked a quarter of a mile already. Makes so noisy, these birds. Right, off we go. If you're into spinning, I suppose there's plenty of wool here that you could use. All gets blown across the fields here, of course, and all catches on the fences. There's blowing loads of it everywhere. Look at it all. It's lovely stuff. Look at this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I can think of worse places to be walking. Can't you? It's kind of weird to come across roadkill. That's a hare. Because where I live in Buckinghamshire, we have so many red kites and they're carrion feeders, so there's almost no dead animals on the side of the road. So to see a big fat hare like that here, bit of an unusual sight. Poor little sod. This is where I'm now headed towards, and up through the valley there. It's the longest glen in Scotland, and this is the start of it.